What up? What up? What it is? What it do? You know the vibes. Who are you? We back again with the fellas from the 22 twos. We here with the vibe check. We gonna talk about all the vibes from the culture, from hip hop, from everything that's going on in the world. You know what I'm saying? We gonna talk about it, whether it's serious, whether it's something to laugh at. All that good stuff. We gonna cover it. But even if it's
Always unserious.
even if it's serious, we probably gonna joke about it because that's what we do as black people. Anyway, with that said, we can go ahead and get into it before somebody walk around butt naked with their robe on.
Hey yo,
Hey yo.
Smooth. Take it away,
Hey,
sir.
yes
yo.
sir. Y'all know what to do already. Before we get it kicked off, like, subscribe, comment, share the content. Y'all already know what it is. And before we get started, I do wanna put prayers up. There's been a lot of aviation incidents happening around this country recently. Definitely just want to put prayers up for everybody getting on them flights. Hopefully y'all disembark and embark safely where y'all going. But
Bro, what's going on with that?
I don't know, man. FAA in shambles. I don't know what's going on. It's like
Yeah.
I often wonder if it's being sensationalized now and just we're getting more privy to it, but I feel like we're always privy to aircraft incidents, right? It's not, they don't happen every 5 minutes, but
It's 45.
hopefully
It's like 45,000
Elon.
commercial flights per day.
That's a
You know what I'm saying?
Elon.
it's a
So,
plan from Elon.
it's a
SpaceX,
plan- it's a
get that
plan for
SpaceX
Elon.
technology, right? That's probably what he's
Plan
trying to
from
do.
Elon. It's a
But
plan
you
from
already know, talking about switching it up. Drizzy switched it up. What he said? He said, fuck a beef, he trying to get the party lit. That's what he tried to do on Friday. Drake, Party Next Door, dropped that album. Dollar sign, SSS, some sexy songs for you. Tried to switch it up a little bit. Definitely said this one is for the ladies. So fellas,
Made
if you
it
thought
sound
you were gonna
crazy.
get on here and hear some bars, wasn't gonna happen. He tried to get the lady to take their drawers off like he usually does, going all the way back, Marvin's Room era. You know how Drizzy get. You got the rapping Drizzy, you got the singing Drizzy. And this one definitely leaned on the more side of singing Drizzy. My two favorite tracks on the album, Give Me a Hug, Meet Your Padre. But I do wanna bring hesitancy to the Meet Your Padre, because I did see a lot of Hispanics online kind of not really fucking with it, which I get, because when Drake and other artists, we from the Caribbean, whenever they try to imitate that Caribbean dancehall sound and it doesn't come out good, I'm the first one to be like, fuck out of here. So if the Hispanics not fucking with it, then maybe I can't fuck with it either. But that being said, a lot of mixed reviews, a lot of mixed opinions and feedback on the album. I did see that it did sell 250 units. It's gonna be number one on the Billboard Top 200. So Drake hits the numbers again. Of course, he always does. But boys, I know y'all gave it a little spin. Got a couple tracks in there. Initial thoughts, Sean. What'd you think? Did Drake resurrect himself? Did he come back? It's not the typical bars album that a lot of the fellas, like to parlay with, but he gave something for the ladies. His first official album release since the whole beef with Kendrick, after he just watched Kendrick, 5 Grammys, Super Bowl appearance, all that.
He cleaned up, and Kendrick cleaned up, and Drake is gonna clean up with doing what he does best, making world records. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
People that people could vibe to. People catch a vibe, go out to a party, you play that in the whip. You know what I'm saying? You have people just rock out to your music, and that's what he was trying to do. And Party Next Door, he's a vibe within himself. Although to me, he kind of sound like Future a little bit on a couple of the tracks, but it sounded like I'm with T-Pain on his assessment of the record. Right? For me, it sounded like a lot of the records were made for specific albums or projects for each of them, and then they kind of just put their own spin on it to be able to make it work for the collaboration. And I feel like most of these collaborations, even going back to a couple with Drake and Future, is like, you're not looking for substance. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for yourself to be able to catch a vibe when you're listening to the music. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that's pretty much what I take it for, what it's worth. A lot of people are like, oh, this is not the right kind of album to be able to come out after having his ass getting foot to ass with Kendrick Lamar, and then having Kendrick Lamar perform in the Super Bowl and then shame him even more, and then he turn around and drop this project and boom, out the gate. How many records did he sell, FJB?
250K.
250 out the gate, and it's already been a week. So that already tells you that he has an established fan base across the world. It doesn't matter what Kendrick Lamar has to say about him. He's in his lane. But we was just discussing this before we even started, is that we didn't like the fact that, and I'm talking on behalf of me and you, FJB, that because maneuvers, we know he feels different. But we didn't like the fact that he was coming for people. I'm not speaking for you. I'm saying in spite of you. So what he did, so what he said was like, yo, why is he coming for people who he ain't gonna catch a response?
Shots at people that can't shoot back.
You know what I'm saying?
Drop a whole freestyle on Bron. Now he throwing Melissa Ford in there to give her fake praise just so he could get that button. What Buddy gonna do? Come at you with a couple sentences on his podcast, bro? What are we talking about?
But we already know Joe Budden don't like you already. So what are you saying? You just throwing a jab at him, calling him a dick sucker. Okay, we know that you felt like that. What are we drawing from this? And then some of the tracks is like, I like Give Me a Hug, but why in the fuck he had to name the shit? He had to come up with that hook that said Give Me a Hug. It sounds like some corny nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? like, give me a hug, sis. Like, I haven't seen you in a while. Like some shit that a nigga would, I wasn't feeling it. But I like the song. But I didn't like that part. I like the way that the beat switched up, the cadence and everything like that. That was cool. But the Give Me a Hug, name of the track, wasn't feeling it. There is a track that I really, really liked on the project. I like Glorious. Glorious is a dope track. You know what I'm saying? And Deeper, Pause, by PartyNextDoor. I like that track too. So there's a couple of joints on there that I really rock out with. But for the most part, I just take it for what it's worth. It's a vibing album. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be a classic. We ain't gonna be listening to this genre like 5-6 years from now.
Not a classic.
It just is what it is for the moment. And sometimes what we get caught up in is, especially as older dudes that listen to music, like we're looking for a project that's everlasting, timeless, and a lot of this music, it's not for that. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what it does over the test of time when we're listening a couple of years from now. But for the moment, enjoy the music for what it is, and I like the album for what it is.
Maneuvers. A lot of people tend to anticipate a Drake album, high anticipation, and when it drops, the insta classic fiends are typically like, this is a classic, and the line you always hear is Drake don't miss. So from what you've heard so far on the album, did Drake miss at all?
I mean, I listened to a few tracks. I think it's important to say to the viewers, it is an album that dropped less than a week ago. It sounds sonically, it sounds good. It's not what you expect from Drake. Is it a classic? Is it not a classic? It's way too early to tell. I am not one of those people that believe that you can consume an album and know if it's a classic
in a week.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm with you.
I mean, I for those of you who listen to music like that, hats off to you. I still listen.
There's a lot of tweets out there.
I mean, I still listen. I'm still listening to some J albums, and it's like, oh shit, I missed that for 15 years. I did not miss that. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, to consume an album in a weekend and be like, yeah, it's great. It's like, did you really? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta process it. It has to be processed in its entirety, all at once, several times for you to be able to say how you feel about it. From what I heard, though, like I said, sonically, it's a good album. I was actually at lunch at work listening to it with one of the guys from work, and I put it on, and I immediately started doing this, and he was like, "Oh, you feeling that?" I was like, "Nah, I'm just trying to catch."
You're feeling that.
Nah, I'm just trying.
You're feeling that.
That's how I listen to it. I want to see if I can catch a vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like. And I did. Like, I caught a few vibes of the songs I did listen to. The Padre joint. I know you mentioned that the Hispanic mafia don't like it, but they sure gonna be hitting that bachata when they hear that in the club, because that's
Damn, too bad La Marina ain't out there no more, yo. R.I.P. La Marina, because we'd have been
R.I.P. La
inside.
Marina, it'd have been rocking, bro.
that's the first thing I thought.
That shit would have been up, nigga.
The first thing I thought when I heard it was they gonna love that bachata sound. You know what I'm saying? But you know, and he took his shots at Joe Budden and all of them. He was kind of in his bag with that. I get the hug me reference because I feel like, you know, he's not getting any love, and he, you know what I'm saying, he feel like he carried the game for a little bit. So I get it, but overall, we'll see. Still, verdict still out from my perspective.
All right, so we gotta also look at it from this perspective, right? When everybody is saying something in common, you gotta look yourself in the mirror, B. Ain't no way it was 20v1 or 50v1 or 100v1, however you want to call it, and you just innocent, you did nothing. There's a reason why everybody in the industry, this dude rubbed them the wrong way.
Yeah, bro.
Like you gotta take a look in the mirror. You gotta reflect. There's gotta be some accountability. You don't tell me this dude was just walking through skate free, not bothering nobody, and then all of a sudden, you know what this sound
Everybody
like?
got a problem. Yeah.
You know what they sound like? Oh, that teacher don't like me. Really? The teacher just don't like you for no reason? You did nothing to
You didn't
person
do nothing
on?
at all.
Come on, son. But of course, you know, that's we got that album. You know, hopefully we'll probably hear it a couple coming months.
But I feel like it's like real quick, FJB. I feel like he fucking with a lot of street niggas, right? Like who are in the rap game, and he's doing shit that street niggas is not used to. So in terms of, you know, working with other artists, not keeping up with his word, so a lot of people feel a certain type of way about that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it might be industry the way he's moving, but a lot of people don't understand that, who come from that. You know what I'm saying?
The cats in the industry, whether they're from the streets or not, if they in the industry, they understand why he moving, how he moving. I say.
But that's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody grasps that concept. You know what I'm saying? If
they're from the streets and they in the industry, they understand why he moving, how he moving. It's I'm not trying to say anything against what you're saying. I'm just saying.
Underdog, put that on a t-shirt.
If they're in the industry, whether they from the streets or not, anybody who's in the industry understands why he moving, how he moving.
All right, is this it until the summertime? We're gonna get some more tunes on your head top, like Drake likes to say.
I feel like he gonna wait for the summertime with stuff that he's cooking up now.
Maybe some singles, yeah.
I feel like this album is just stuff that he had in the top.
Like a reintroduction, like, yo, I'm still here.
No, it's
still that nigga.
Yeah. It's like he probably got 400 or 500 songs tucked away. This is, what he think he wanted to pull out of the top 100 songs that he got. So.
All right. So more remains to be seen. It's only been 5 days since the album released. So I'm sure we're going to be hearing a couple of those spinning on the radio, or for those of us that listen to the radio. But it's going to be everywhere, social media, hopefully the summertime. But, speaking of summertime and Drake, just being on tour, he got the Wireless Festival coming up in July this summer. He's headlining 3 days in London, featuring none other than my boy, Ben put on to make me one drive it home, Vybz Kartel. Yo, we spoke about this.
Summertime in Portmore.
Summertime in Kingston. Yo, we spoke about this months ago, about Vybz, as soon as he got out, wondering if he would get his visa to come to the U.S. Got that done. He's been here. Yo, hitting up the Grammys, red carpet, linking up with Kai Cenat. I believe Kai is going to bring Kartel on stream soon.
That'd be
Drink
crazy,
Champs,
bro.
He's literally doing the interview tours, the podcast tours. He got this Wireless Festival joint with Drake lined up for the summertime. I did hear they're trying to make Freedom Street, his initial concert after coming out that took place in Jamaica on New Year's Eve. They're trying to make that an annual event. You know us New Yorkers, everybody here talking about, yo, Kartel, when you coming on the Parkway? Y'all don't know how to act. Y'all don't know how to act. If Cartel comes on the Parkway, bro, nah. If he comes to New York and does anything Labor Day weekend, he got to do it proper. It got to be in the Barclays Center. He got to do it in the Barclays Center. You know, security, you know, professional venue, everybody in there. Hopefully people don't act out. They're going to be fighting in there, of course. You know, we going to see some, shit. We going to see some shit. But, you know, Cartel out making his rounds. So, fellas.
Barclays Center is we ain't getting none of those. I'm just going to say
we not getting Cartel. They got Buju.
No, I'm talking about us as an inside personally. Those are not going to be
rare sadness, bro. A wave of sadness.
I don't even know why you brought.
Those are not going to be available. I'm just saying that right now.
A wave of sadness just washed over me, bro. Don't do stuff like that. We ain't crossed that bridge yet.
Ticketmaster like this, like we'll you want to sneakers at.
We're speaking, yeah, bro. We speaking positivity. Like, let's not do that right now. We're talking about positive impact in the culture with Cartel being reintroduced after a 13-year prison sentence. Mm-hmm. Let's move forward with the positivity.
Yeah, man. I want to ask y'all, what do y'all think his impact is going to be, you know, on the dancehall wave? You know, we all grew up in that golden era from like 95 to like early 2000s. You know, of course, Sean Paul did his thing. Beanie Man, Cartel, Busy Signal, Idonia, Sizzla. The list goes on and on. Popcorn. And of course, paved the way for Popcorn coming in the late 2000s, 08, 09 territory. But I just want to ask y'all, you know, what's Cartel's impact going to be on dancehall just in general? How's he gonna bring that flavor, you know, back to something that, you know, dudes and just people overall in our age range kind of felt like was missing for the last couple of years?
He's an OG in the game now.
Mm-hmm.
He's 49, about to touch 50. You know what I'm saying? When he came out of prison, like it was just the craziest thing. The minute they announced it, we was all hitting each other up like, yo, Cartel's about to touch the streets, bro. He's
free world boss.
Yeah, the world boss is free. You know what I'm saying? He was acquitted. You know, Jamaica is a British colony still, so you know they're working off that legal system, and he was released, and that was it. And he touched the streets. He worked on his health first before he did anything. Right? Mm-hmm. Got right with his baby mother, and you know worked out the finances and started booking shows as soon as he was physically able. And
now him there with Sidem. He's getting married this month, yo.
Bro, shout out to the world boss getting married. And the thing is, he got the what was it called again? The concert?
Freedom Street.
He got the Freedom Street shit popping in December, and they had the rocking the whole show. You could not hear shit. Yeah. Like they was just letting he lit up the stage. Everybody came out to see him. And you think about how many people he's responsible for having their career on the upswing, right? On the Drink Champ show, he mentioned that one of Shensia's first songs, he had written, and one of the producers had passed the song along to her, and he didn't get writer's credit, no bread, no nothing. But she popped off on that. You know what I'm saying? All she did was just change the words from he to her, you know, the pronouns and all that shit. He mentioned that in Drink Champs. You see Popcorn. Popcorn is, we already know what he do. You know what I'm saying?
Get the new clocks, the daddy. That was the intro.
Then, bro, that was it. And then you also had Spice. We already know what happened. You
already know.
Rompin' Shop. You know what I'm saying? So but the dope part about Cartel is his evolution as a man from the experiences that he went through while he was in prison. He sat in jail. He was still able to make music, and Fever was Grammy nominated. Go figure, he was locked up when that happened. You know what I'm saying? So it's really cool to see him evolve as a man and an individual, where you know you hear him speaking eloquently. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't need to use expletives to get his point across, and you can see that he's someone who's been through something and has something to say and brings positivity to everything. Because even the people who he was beefing with, Beanie Man.
And he shouted him out too. He gave him his flowers on Drink Champs.
Shouted out Beanie Man, shouted out Movado, who he had a crazy beef with that almost went to the streets. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of growth that I seen in Cartel, and you can see that growth has been exhibited and resulted in him getting his US visas where he could just move around and you know get more money. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the world boss. I'm excited to see what's gonna be coming in the future. But some of the new music that has come out, I'm not gonna lie to you, has not been hitting like some of the older joints. You know what I'm saying? But it's for me, that's fine. It's gonna come. Pause. You know what I'm saying? But it's. I think as soon as he gets in his bag and he figures out who he is now as an artist, because his voice is his octave, his voice is obviously different. Yeah. So it's like sonically, once he finds that sound and he's able to tap into that, I think it's gonna be all good. I think he's gonna be rocking out the way that we know Kartel to be rocking out.
Listen, man, you gotta give him a little time to warm up. Of course, you know, as in the Caribbean, we like our OGs. A lot of our artists are a little bit on the older side, but you know, I'm from the early 2000s era Kartel with Tech Buddy Gal and Hello Moto and Real Bad Man and from that this man from 90s Machiavelli make you know what a holla pinties boy never mind him bumbo clad business rev out your life like 7 series gangster we shot you but tell you where the weed is bro, like I'm talking about bars. So you know we gotta go to the concert. But Maneuvers, just talk to me about his overall impact coming into the game. Of course, you know Sean mentioned he need a little bit of warm up to, you know, make that sonically sound a little bit different now, you know, different octave, the voice change a little bit, but I think he can find that groove.
I think for me, what comes to mind is that, you know, he's gonna face a struggle that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. Is that he went in and he wasn't an OG and he came out and he's viewed as an OG. Him mentally and musically being able to bridge the gap, you know, and you know what the reality of the situation is something that he's gonna have to overcome. I think he should embrace that OG status. I think what the win would be is, you know, from our era, the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, like those artists, those real dance hall artists, you know, you want to say you call 5 of them, you know, you want them. I want to see them come together because, you know, Vybz, Bounty, Beanie, Sizzler, Capleton, all of them, like you,
Ninja Man,
Assassin,
Redman, Assassin, Ellie the dudes.
You know, you
Sean Paul. I know he's from Uptown, but
mentioned him, yeah.
Sean Paul too. But you know, the nostalgic feeling that you'll get from them, but just also, you know what I'm saying, be coming up in that era. And I never forget, it was a Labor Day. I went to, you know, a concert, and I can't remember where it was. It wasn't the Ark. It was somewhere crazy.
The Ark. Sheesh.
But you know what I'm saying? I remember it's like Bounty, Assassin, Ellie,
probably
mad DJs on stage, and it was like the vibe is crazy because it's some in dancehall, like the energy that they can create if they come together as a unit. They're all gonna eat. But it's something that you can't see in hip hop because in hip hop you got to get on a song with the dude. And dancehall it's a rhythm, and everybody on that rhythm. So you can put a rhythm on and pause one mic and pass the mic around, and everybody get their turn, and it's gonna be
crazy.
So you know what I'm saying? I would love to see him.
That's crazy. One mic around and everybody go crazy. Is crazy.
I paused it.
It still sounded wild.
I paused it from the recording. But it's the truth though. Like, you know what I'm saying? If he embraced that, I think him embracing his OG status and doing and being the leader or something like that will propel him to a certain level. I don't even think he could expect to reach. Because a lot of the guys that I'm mentioning, like, they would actually be as big as they are in today's time. They would kind of be riding his coattail into something like that because he's got the buzz, he's generating the noise and stuff like that. Whereas it's a little more quiet for them. But I'm happy for him. I'm happy for, you know, real dancers. Then
you know the vibes are ready. So,
but you know what's but real quick, my bad. shout to Nori, you know what I'm saying, for giving him the platform to be able to, and he gave flowers to those who came before him. And dudes that he had beef, again, I can't say this enough because it's like dancehall is different when it comes to the beef. We all know this, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's like dudes really don't like each other. So for him to get on Nori and EFN's platform, shout to them, and talk about his adoration, his appreciation for the position that they put him in to be able to be the artist that he is. This it's a very humbling thing to watch, bro, and I was really proud of him for it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But boys,
before we move on to the reggae dancehall subject, I gotta say this. I dig this. There can only be one Bob. Anything after that is Bobby Socks. Okay? Those of y'all who know what I'm talking about know
Bobby Socks. Yo, you know how long I haven't heard that? I ain't even go. I haven't heard that term in forever.
He said Bobby Socks. Wow.
Only can be one Bob.
Oh man, but boys, back to the hip hop side.
Twin.
You know, y'all man who's always making the rounds, making the social media rounds. 50 Cent. Always, I say this dude don't take nothing serious. He takes nothing serious. And of course, R.I.P. Irv Gotti, you know, Murder Inc. He gave us, you know, he was the engineer behind giving us a lot of hits. Early 2000s, he's responsible for a lot. You know, his contribution to hip hop definitely doesn't go unnoticed. And he left his mark, you know, on that territory. But 50 Cent, of course, he takes nothing serious. You know, has his accusations of Irv Gotti and, you know, his acquaintances or, you know, colleagues, you know, having something to do with, you know, trying to get 50 killed back in the day. So, of course, you know, when the news drops that Irv Gotti died, 50 over here posting about it, joking about it on social media, per usual. Now, Sean, I know you got a lot. You got the background for this, so I'm gonna kick it to you because your man takes nothing serious. We seen it with the Lil Meech stuff too. Like this guy, no holds barred with this dude. Like everybody is susceptible to getting flamed.
All right, so take y'all through it, right?
Okay.
50 approaches Meech, right? And what's the name of? Y'all gotta help me on this one.
BMF.
I'm terrible with names. No, not BMF, because you know, Black Mafia family, we get it. But Tammy, what's her name? Right? His Cody, Tammy Cowan, right? Approaches 50 Cent with the deal. You know what I'm saying? To be able to, you know, work out the BMF series, and she introduces him to Meech, and they work it out, and they start the BMF series. Not only do they start the BMF series, he gives an opportunity to Meech's son to play him in the series, right? So now they're rocking out, they're doing whatever, and the series is super,
And pays for him to have acting classes to be able to be in the series.
To be able to go into the role, you know what I'm saying? So setting them up and putting them in a position of financial success and possibly a BMF movie down the line, right? Fast forward, Big Meech gets out of prison. He's out. It's with 50. You see them dapped up. They do the picture and all that. And then Meech turns around in a situation where most people are kind of split on. You know what I'm saying? Where he stands next to Rick Ross because he has the coming home party.
Sexy
you know
red.
What I'm saying? Sexy. Them niggas look like they was sexy red. Like, see somebody that you lust over. I mean, granted, a couple episodes back, I was wilding. You know what I'm saying? I was out of pocket, probably too much of this. You know, but at the end of the day, they were trying to promote the show. Now, 50, as we all know, don't play with disloyal acts of disloyalty. So 50 goes on a whole tirade and campaign where he's trying to discredit Meech. He even goes as far as to calling Big Meech a big screech, a snitch. You know what I'm saying? In the legal space, saying that, you know, Tammy Cowan, yeah, she's his Cody, but she, you know, turned around and she was the mouthpiece because he told her everything that she needed to know to be able to say what she said to get him out of prison. So it's not looking good on the street side for Meech. And then most recently, they had the concert, like I mentioned, and I think it was like 20,000 or 25,000 with capacity for the stadium down in Miami, and they only sold 900 tickets. And everybody was pointing the finger, at 50 Cent, saying, "Yo, you the reason for that." And he was in the post. He was like, "Yo, I don't know why y'all blaming me. I don't got that much power to be
What's the
able to
favorite
shut
gift?
down the show.
He called me and say fuck me. I say why he say fuck me for?
Why you say fuck me for? But nah, on some real shit, 50 was like, yo, what it got to do with me? But everybody knew it had something to do with 50 Cent, because look at what he did to Ja Rule. You know what I'm saying? With his show. He bought all the tickets and had nobody show up, bro. So you had that situation going on, right? Then a couple of days later, God rest the dead, like FJB just said, Irv Gotti passed away, right? And then when Irv Gotti passed away, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I think it's like poetic, because 50 Cent is somebody who doesn't play about his principles and does not like to be disrespected and stands on it. He got on his Instagram and was smoking hookah, talking about he was smoking on that Irv Gotti pack, and saying that he wishes that he was here when he when he's dropping the next BMF season to be able to see it. He was like, just kidding, LOL. And then on the next picture, you see Irv Gotti, and I was like, God damn. If this man ain't disrespecting this man's family, if he's not disrespecting anybody who ever loved him and then put it in that post, he really don't give a damn, bro. But then when you look at the optics behind it, right? When you look at the background, Irv Gotti was standing next to Preem for a lot of the shit that went on back in the late 90s to the early 2000s that led up to 50 getting shot and the retaliation. We all know how the story goes, right? So now, fast forward, Joe Budden is talking about 50 Cent with his post with Irv Gotti on his podcast. And Queens Flip, shout out to Queens Flip. That's one of my favorite personalities right now in the podcast space. But Flip was like, yo, like you have to, he said the same thing I just mentioned. You have to account for the fact that Irv Gotti was involved with Preem and those individuals who are on that side talking about, going through that situation and 50 getting shot and he's standing next to him. He's a op. So 50 is standing on business. You see how he treated his son, his actual biological son. What makes you think that he's not going to say nothing about you after you pass? It doesn't matter to him. You know what I'm saying? And then Joe Budden was like, yo, this is a clear sign of our culture and people needing therapy to be able to get over stuff. 50 got problems. And here comes 50 Cent. 50 Cent in a post. He's like, yo, what you need to do is worry about your sleepwalking and walking up on people's crib naked, butt ass, in the middle of the night. And he said, don't be worried about my business. Worry about what you worry about. So, yo, maneuvers. Now that I laid it out, bro, pause.
Yo.
How do you feel about 50 Cent and his reactions to things that are being presented to him and how his business relationships with individuals and other individuals who have something to say about how he reacts to certain things?
I respect it. Because you know where you stand. It ain't no
guessing.
They ain't on business. 10 toes down, right? That's what they say.
And I feel like it's a lesson, to anyone who's gonna do business with 50. Like anything that you're gonna do publicly, like check with him how he's gonna receive it. And I'm not saying check with him like he run your life or anything like that, but check with him because in the public limelight, it could not turn out well. So you want to, secure your situation. In order to secure your situation, 50, I'm about to do this. I just want to make sure you're going to be cool with it because I ain't trying to have you have my show canceled. And he probably going to laugh about it, but he going to tell you how he feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
The other part of it is I respect the business. I respect the business because the street shit speak for itself. He can do and say what he wants because really and truly, knock on wood, like ain't nobody gonna touch him. He's damn near untouchable. From a street perspective, but from the business perspective, because 50 does big business with a lot of corporations and a lot of businesses, and none of the stuff that he does or says on social media, any of the things that he engages with, none of that affects his business.
Any of it, yeah.
That's the part I respect the most. Like he ain't
talking his shit.
He ain't in the streets, but you ain't gonna play in his face because he gonna check you, and he's got enough power, both culturally and business wise to make your life a living hell.
It's a
Yeah,
fact.
and that's the thing is like we talk about this with athletes all the time, right? And like creating their brand. 50's already created his brand. Like this is what he's gonna do. So it doesn't matter if you come at him from a business perspective, you come after him from a street perspective. All it takes is an Instagram post, and it's on the Shade Room, it's on TMZ, wherever you want to see it. You're gonna be able to find it. Hot 97, Breakfast Club, like it's gonna make the rounds.
This is
yeah. If you want the smoke, you're welcome.
Got it.
This is a dude who been shot multiple times, didn't die. Nobody wanted to sign him. He went ahead and did his own thing. This is a dude that has had multiple court cases with large corporations and won. This is a dude
face bankruptcy.
This is,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and beat that and turn around and you know is basically keeping a network afloat with his programming because nobody's checking for stars. And then now you know he has power, Booker power.
I mean, it would be nice if I finish my thought though. You just.
I'm with you. I'm with
no,
you.
I'm with you. You just
with you.
Me. You just
I'm with you. I'm helping you. I'm helping you.
Wow, because I was trying to go. I was also trying to tell you.
I'm cheerleading you on. Pause.
But, I mean, and he's also, you know what I'm saying, put himself in these positions over and over and over again. And I think the message there is that, like, yo, the difference between the top people in business and me and you and people who don't know business is like the repetition of doing something, like being in that position over and over again. Like I know how to handle myself. I know what to do. And he's been there so many times. Like he knows, like, all right, I can take it this far, but this is the line I can't cross. I mean, like, a lot of other people who want to be controversial within media, in the media space and within social media, they go too far where they get canceled. 50 don't get canceled. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Talking about Irv, like, it's going to be a 50-50 split, no pun intended. You know what I'm saying? But,
hey.
Because people understand what happened. And the other thing to that is he don't get involved in politics like most celebrities do. He stays 100 feet away from that.
Nah,
so
jokes about
because he aligns with the money.
Yeah,
he aligns with the money. Yeah, he's about the bread, and you can't help but respect 50 Cent for how he moves. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gonna sit there and be like, I don't like 50. I don't know too many people that turn around and say that. They might not like what he does at times. But 50 Cent is a stand-up dude. You know what I'm saying? It's about the stuff that he does in the background too that people don't get a chance to see. You know what I'm saying? He paid for funerals. He puts people in position to be able to have self-growth. He does a lot, bro.
Loyalty.
That's all he looks for.
Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder are testaments to what being loyal will get you. Loyalty has
shouts to Yayo and Uncle Murder, man.
All over the world.
East New York.
Paid all their bills. They don't have nothing. They'll never have to worry for anything again in life because they were loyal, not to the money, not to their own fame. Like, you know what I'm saying? They were loyal to a man that changed their situation.
For your part, yeah.
Yeah, he also changed Star's situation because he gave us power and was nobody checking for stars before that. But of course, it changed our real situation for the words. But of course, as always, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Thank you. You have no idea how much your support is appreciated on this side. As always, tell a friend to tell a friend, share the link, like, subscribe, comment, maneuvers, talk to me.
Before you close this out. Coming here in the next couple days, we ain't
gonna be mad nervous to say anything. Like, hold on. Let me just preface this with a pause because I'm not sure. But again, my bad.
We ain't forgetting about the sport. So we gonna have for y'all some info. We gonna give y'all some some info on the long. I don't know what you call them, futures. Parlays. Yeah, future parlays. We gonna shout out, who we think, about the NBA, who gonna be what in the playoffs. We might even get into some NFL draft stuff here soon. So
Lord.
Sure y'all stay
Don't depress me before the time, please.
Make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all stay tuned, because when the Matthew Stafford deal happens, we're gonna be the first ones to break it. Again, this is too smooth. Close us out, man.
Like some
show was
comment.
cool. Don't make me vexed.
Yeah.
Bro. Like, come on, man.
Chill, Sean.
It was good.
Save that for another day, man. Of course, we out of here. Peace.
Peace.